The following is an exclusive podcast of Baxter College, funded by Kidderminster Academy at Kaboom Radio.
Hello, you're listening to Kaboom. This is Jack.
I'm Billy.
And we're here today from Baxter College, Kidderminster.
This is thanks to the funding from the Kidderminster Academy, and today's topic is on changing gender roles in employment.
Personally, I think this is a really big issue over the past couple of years, and it's changing all the time. What do you think about this? If I was a stereotypical man, what would I be doing in your eyes?
I'd think builder, but then I look at you and you don't really look like a builder.
Can't you tell by my rippling muscles?
Yeah, and on that note, we'll go on to our first song, which is Joan Jett and the Black Hearts with I Love Rock and Roll.
Baxter College at Kaboom Radio.
That was Joan Jett and the Black Hearts with I Love Rock and Roll.
Keeping on with our topic, this is Miles and Sophie talking on the history of job stereotypes.
Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm with my friend Miles.
Thanks Sophie. If I was born 40 years ago, I would be forced down the mines at just 8 years old. The main roles men would have had in World War II would be policemen, firemen, or on the front line fighting the war. Men were seen as the main gender for these roles. Women stayed at home and provided for children or family members. The men's jobs were seen as too dangerous for women to do. I will hand you back to Sophie with her opinion on a woman's role.
Okay, if I was born 30 years ago, the stereotype job for a woman would have been a nurse. Being a nurse, people have to make sure patients feel welcome and comfortable. Nowadays, men and women can nurse as it's a free world. Both men and women are equal and have the same rights. We will now hand you back to Jack and Billy.
Thanks for listening.
That was Miles and Sophie, and
the next song, which is Falling in Reverse with The Drug and Me Is You.
Baxter College at Kaboom Radio.
now for the next report from our very own Chubby Lee Evans and Claudio Sanchez. This is Ryan and Miles.
Hello, my name's Miles and I'm a mini Claudio Sanchez.
And I'm Ryan, aka the Chubby Lee Evans. So our first point about people changing careers is choosing your career at school.
It's a very daunting task. From the experience that I've had, it's easy to choose the lessons that you enjoy.
True, but what if you're a boy and you like catering, childcare and dance?
Well, then you should be choosing a stereotypical lesson.
For a lad?
No, for a girl.
Well, what would a stereotypical boy pick?
Construction, design technology, PE, that sort of thing.
I suppose.
Well, Ryan, in your opinion, what are stereotypical jobs for women?
Well, I think the most stereotypical jobs for women are probably nurses and nannies.
Well then, what are your most stereotypical jobs for men?
Probably builders and firemen. I never see female firefighters or builders.
True. Same here. However, I see a lot of male teachers when people see teaching as a female sort of job.
I suppose, but it is a pretty universal job, to be perfectly honest.
True. Well, later in the show, we've got Ben and Drew going on about how you can break this stereotypical type of job.
Thank you very much for listening. We'll now pass you back to Jack and Billy Joe.
Up next is Jack and Jazz with an interview with Dean Riley from Kidderminster Academy.
Baxter College at Kaboom Radio.
Okay, Dean, you're on with Jack and Jasmine with Kaboom Radio. Would you be alright to answer a few questions?
Yeah, of course I can.
Can you tell us a little about your job?
Yeah, sure. I'm the programme manager for media and games development at Birmingham Metropolitan College, and basically that means I'm in charge of all of the A-level media and vocational BTEC courses that we offer in games design and in media production. So that's pretty much what I do on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, well, our topic today is changes in gender roles within society.
Okay.
What can you tell us about, is there more girls, more boys that tend to go to your class?
Well, here's the thing. When we started running the media courses, it was pretty much a sort of 50-50 split, really. And the balance was actually really good, with a mix of young men and young women that wanted to move into things like radio, television, journalism, and that kind of thing. When we started running the games course, it wasn't as balanced. We found in the early days of the games course that it was almost entirely staffed by young men, you know. But what's really nice to see is actually over the 6 or 7 years that we've been offering the course, the number of girls that want to study on that particular course and ultimately end up working in games has been nicely and steadily increasing over the years.
Are there any girls in your class that are better than the boys?
Well, do you know what? I'm not going to start playing favourites, but it is fair to say that, you know, some of the most talented students that I've got got are young women, you know. I can think of some examples straight away. I won't name names, but, you know, my very, very best concept artist, you know, she's fantastic with Photoshop. She can draw fantastic pieces of artwork, you know, that the games industry would just absolutely love to have. She's the kind of person that they'd love to have on their team. You know, she's great.
Okay, what do you think frayed the girls away from this sort of industry a couple of years ago?
It's because, rightly or wrongly, games is still kind of viewed as a bit of a boys' club, which I think is a bit narrow-minded, really. You know, when you look at the people that play games, it's actually quite an even balance between guys and girls that play all sorts of different video games. You know, I mean, and I think that's been reflected in the people that are wanting to come and join the course. We're trying to send the right message out to people that actually, yes, this isn't a boys' club. You know, young women can absolutely join and do very, very well on this course.
What are your views on females in your industry, like the games industry and ICT?
We hope that they'll go into the games industry and kind of change things from the inside. You know, I know that some of my best female and male students are absolutely ready to go and work in the games industry, and you know, we're sending them in there with the right message. You know, that kind of diversity is healthy, that it's good, and that if it isn't there, that actually the games industry will just end up becoming weaker and weaker over time. So, you know, it might take a little while, and it might happen slowly, but we're hoping that we're going to change things from the inside, one student at a time. You know, I think the games industry could do well to kind of learn from our example, really, because we're being able to attract young women towards our courses. So if we can do it for 16-year-olds that have just finished their GCSEs, why can't the games industry do it for someone that's just finished a degree and is ready to think about a career?
Okay, thanks for joining us, Dean.
Okay, you're welcome. No problem at all. Thanks for today.
One of my favourite songs up next. This is Kiss and Tell by Yumi at 6.
Baxter College at Kaboom Radio.
Up next is Ben and Drew with information on how to break the stereotypical jobs with courses at the Kidderminster Academy.
Hi, I'm Drew. That's Ben.
Hi.
As you know, there's been a bit of a theme today. It's changing gender roles in employment, but as I'm sure you all know, before you get a job, you need the correct training.
You're right there, Drew. Down at Kidderminster Academy, they've got a massive range of different courses like fashion design, engineering courses and 3D modelling.
What's 3D modelling? Sounds quite interesting.
Yeah, gaming and 3D interactive stuff.
Games, now you're talking. I'm sure much of our audience play games, and I think they'll agree with me when I say that we do need people who make games in-game development, so we can just avoid revision whenever possible.
True.
And engineers, we need engineers like for buildings, so we can play the games in there.
Yeah.
And especially in Kidderminster, we've got so much history with engineering and industry, especially
carpets.
like you said, with carpets, like Brunton's Carpets, and you can get into that with like fashion, with a fashion course at this academy. Yeah, you can do a fashion course there, like you can design the carpets if you really wanted to.
You could also do a fashion course and you also get to work with GOC1.
If you would want to, which I wouldn't. You know how to look good naked?
Yeah.
Why would you go on that? If you're embarrassed about your body, why would you go on national television?
I don't know.
We've gone a bit off topic now. Back to the academy. None of these courses are gender specific, so if you're a guy who wants to go into fashion, you never know, you could be the next GOC1.
Or GOC2.
Nice one. Or if you're a girl that wants to go into gaming, you should give me a call. Seriously, all joking aside, if you want to hear about any courses that you've heard about today or see what courses they have on offer, go to the website.
Kidderminster2012.co.uk.
That's the website. So before we hand back to the studio, we're going to play Your Sweet 666 by him.
Baxter College at Kaboom Radio.
That was Your Sweet 666 by him.
Okay, we want to wrap this up today, so thank you to Dean Riley at the Kidderminster Academy once again. You can find out more at kidderminster2012.co.uk. Thanks for listening. This has been Jack and Billy Joe.
Right, our last song we're going to do tonight is How You Remind Me by Nickelback. Thank you very much.
This podcast is a production of Kerrang Radio.